What is this wooden crank-operated thing that was likely purchased in Shipshewana, Indiana, over a decade ago? It's over 36 inches tall, sturdy, and the crank turns the larger wheel, which turns the smaller wheel, which turns the shaft with 4 attached slats. Visible in the pictures, there's a ring at the base that indicates there was some kind of attachment, but it did not come with any. The slat on the upper front lifts up slightly, allowing the shaft to disconnect and tilt outward. I've Google image searched and found a lot of suggestions of spinning wheels and yarn swifts. When this was given to me, it was suggested that this was a fiber arts tool, so I reached out to a local guild. They responded, saying this isn't like any fiber tool they've ever seen. So I've come here in hopes of solving this mystery. I would really love to know what its original use was. Thanks in advance. This is a 19th century butter churn, missing the barrel. I found an exact match to your butter churn. If you turn the crank, the little wooden posts act as gears and spin the curb paddle below. The crosspiece at the top of the center shaft moves up and down in slots at either end to remove the center shaft. Then you could put the shaft in a barrel, then put the whole barrel and shaft combo back in place. What is this magnet fishing find in central Jutland, Denmark? We had this from a magnet fishing trip with an after-school program I work at, and one of the teens pulled this from the lake. The small disc on the top can turn as well as be moved slightly in and out. Can anyone help us with identifying this, please? It's a Danish model 1923 practice wooden grenade, an inert reusable replica designed for military training. It allowed soldiers to safely practice the weight, grip, and throwing mechanics of a live hand grenade without the risk of detonation. They generally featured the standard fuse and safety pin assembly, allowing recruits to go through the complete pull, release, and throw process. The M1923 was a standard issue weapon utilized by the Danish military. Following the German occupation of Denmark in April 1940, these grenades were heavily captured and issued to Nazi troops. Despite its World War II history, the M1923 continued to be officially produced for and used by Danish forces until 1956. It's wooden, but your magnet picked up the steel inside, which makes it weigh the same as the real one. It's an inert but good lesson calling the authorities. What is this thing I found at the flea market? I found this around 10 years ago, and I have been using it as a paperweight. It's around 3.5 inches long, 1.5 inches wide. It's solid and has weight to it. I have no idea what the material is or even what the object is. Any guesses on this one? It's a ceramic pot foot, placed under plant containers to elevate planters slightly off the ground, ensuring drainage holes remain clear, promoting healthy airflow, and preventing moisture-related damage to patios, decks, or indoor flooring. If a pot sits flush with the ground, the drainage hole can become blocked, leading to waterlogged soil and root rot. What is this figurine found in a field in Guadalajara, Mexico, over 40 years ago? My mother says this was found by one of her brothers, and 2 of them were found in the same area. It has a hole at the bottom in the center. However, it's not like the trinkets you buy when visiting Chichen Itza, the ones with windways that you use as a flute. Can anyone give more information? It's a 1960s Colima dog effigy vessel, modeled after the famous ancient Colima dog effigies of Western Mexico. I also happen to have found one very similar on Etsy. And since it was found in a field, I wonder if there was a grave. The dogs were meant to guide a spirit in the afterlife. They were depicted to be plump, meaning a symbolic and eternal food supply for the spirit during their trip to the afterlife. They also served as guardians that drove away physical intruders and bad spirits. What is this box of unknown purpose? I found this going through my deceased uncle's belongings. It has what appears to be the word white stenciled on the lid, and removable mountings inside for tools or maybe something else. He had a lot of antique things when he died, and I ended up with a few of them. This one perplexes me, however. Has anyone seen anything like it? Might you be able to help me out? It's an antique white brand hammer for sewing machines, designed to automatically fold and stitch the edge of fabric into a neat hem. It was patented on July 7, 1891, by Alan Johnston of Ottumwa, Iowa. What are these cast iron items I found with discarded kitchen items? About 2 inches square, heavy, with no maker's mark or any logo. I tried Google Lens, but no help. My initial thought was maybe to hold down a tablecloth. What are these? Any ideas or help would be appreciated. It's a vintage business card holder, used to store and display contact information. If it was in the kitchen, it was possibly used as a recipe card holder. Home recipes used to be kept on large index cards, either 3x5 or 4x6. I was visiting Lake Bled in Slovenia and saw dozens of these. No plants growing on them, or any other context clues. Any idea what they are for? That's a hay rack, a freestanding vertical drying rack found chiefly in Slovenia. These are permanent structures primarily made of wood, upon which fodder for animals is dried, although their use is not limited to drying hay. Other foodstuffs such as field maize are dried on them as well. Although it is a practical structure, a hay rack is often artistically designed and handcrafted and is regarded by Slovenes as a distinctive form of vernacular architecture that marks Slovene identity. I found this tucked away in a box of random knickknacks. I can tell it's used to hold something, but it was empty when I found it. It was in a box that's been sitting in my garage for definitely a while. Any ideas? That's a tape measure. I really like that you included a cassette case for size reference. But in case this isn't a joke, it's a cassette case. Cassettes were usually used for audio before CDs were a thing. I guess I'm old, so just assume everyone knows what this is. What is this mysterious object? I found this spoon-looking object while looking through a box of my late grandmother's jewelry. It's pretty light, and I couldn't tell the writing on it because it was rusted over. A friend said it's an old-school ice cracker. It would be used to break large pieces of ice into smaller chunks to fit into your glass. What do y'all think? Please tell us down in the comments. Thanks for watching. Let's make life fun.